Good morning, it is Monday. I'm back from my holidays, refreshed and relaxed. I'm having a good time off. You know you've got a good job, don't you, when you come back off your holidays and the thought of work isn't too discouraging. So anyway, this morning I've got a little compressor, Doosan compressor, just to cast my eye over before it goes out, and then I'm going to go up into the Borders and service a 140-7, so that'll be a 500-hour service. So engine oil will be to change, fuel filters will be to change, so that'll be my first engine oil drop on a 140-7. So that should be interesting. The job's about 2 hours away though, so yeah, it'll be a nice little ride out. The weather is absolutely bang on. It's 9:30 and it is 17 degrees already, so it should be a nice day. It'll be a nice ride out as well. So we'll go and have a quick look over this compressor. Don't do an awful lot with compressors, to be honest with you. Just the odd one here and there. So just check the engine oil levels, make sure the wheel nuts are tight, and send it on its way, I suppose. Right, welcome back. Let's get on. So something a bit different to start my working week. I've got this Doosan compressor. It's 745. It's conveniently placed on this trailer, so I'll have to go and find a telehandler and lift it onto the ground. But yeah, I thought I'll just have a quick check of the oil levels. So get your compressor oil in there, that's all right, and engine oil level, it's spot on too around here, and that's good. Coolant level, spot on there, look. Yeah, I can't think of anything else really. Check fan belts and stuff, I suppose, make sure they're tight. I'll run it up anyway once I've got it off the trailer. And oh, that's something I noticed, look. Battery cables are off, so I'll have to put them on. Other than that, it's a little 3-cylinder Yanmar engine, common rail. Got a DPF filter, as most things do nowadays. Honestly, I haven't got an awful lot to tell you. I'll need to check the lights, won't I? And that van hasn't got a tow bar on it anymore, so I'll have to find a tractor, put it on the back of a tractor and make sure the lights are all working. But and it wants a right good wash as well. I don't think I'll do that this morning though. I could do with getting on up to me service, but if it's all fit to go, worst case scenario as it gets collected as it is. But yeah, right, let's get on. Right, I've got myself a telehandler. I'll lift that off now, and hopefully things don't go pear-shaped. I'll set you up on this trailer here and you can maybe watch us make a mess of it. Let's see. Right, 10 o'clock, I've finished with that air compressor. It's a nice little thing. It doesn't have to run quietly, especially when you lift the bonnet, that's when you hear it. So anyway, right, I'm gonna nip around to my parts container and get my filters put on the van for this afternoon. And yeah, it'll be a nice little ride up through the Borders to get the week properly started. So I'll see you on the road. It's good to be back. It is good to be back, especially when the weather's as good as it is. Right, I have got a 2-hour trip up to this digger, so yeah, that'll get us there for 12:09, I reckon. Get that service done. There's a mini digger on the way back down the road as well to go and see, so hopefully we should have time to go and get that as well. So here we are then. So I've got it all set up, ready to go, hub's ready to drop, and then yeah, everything is going to be in this door. So tiny little engine oil filter, primary fuel filter, watering fuel filter and pilot filter. So for the first time I've changed these filters on a Dash 7, so see how we go. See, we've got the trusty old hand primer back again. Never mind, right, we'll get on. So I like that Dash 7 300, they put a nice little access plate to get to the sump pump, which is very nice. All my filters changed. I'll just turn the fuel back on now. Yeah, this one here, it wasn't too bad, it wasn't as messy as I thought, but what I could do is make some sort of tray that'll sit nicely on there and just catch the oil and run it down into my drip tray below. I've not made too much of a mess. I'll give it a quick wipe out now. Yeah, not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. Right, I suppose I better start pumping this hand primer now and get some fuel bled back through. Oh, it's going to be an easy one. Well, that actually bled up really nicely, to be honest with you. There'd be about 30 or so pumps and it bled that one and that one up, so I'm quite happy with that. Right, I'll go down here now and see if this is finished draining the engine oil. Yeah, it's just trickling out now. I don't know whether they are slow to drain out or whether I haven't sort of got the pipe screwed on far enough. It did seem a bit slower. I've drained it into a 20 litre drum because obviously I've never changed the oil in these before. So feels like it's about half full. So we'll go up top now, put some engine oil in it. So, I've probably mentioned it before, but this is a 4-cylinder Doosan engine. It's a D34. So the previous 140s will have had a 4-cylinder Perkins, a 1204F. And yeah, this one, physical size is an awful lot smaller. It doesn't have EGR on it, which means there's a lot less clutter on top of the engine. You haven't got an EGR cooler down here and all the EGR valve on here and everything, so it does give the appearance that the engine's a lot smaller, but it's sort of rated at the same or similar horsepower. So it hasn't got EGR, but it's got DOC, DPF and SCR, so it's running AdBlue as well as a DPF filter. But yeah, this machine's done 500 hours and no sign of any trouble yet. Before I go, I'll go into the error codes on the machine and just double check that everything is as it should be. But yeah, let's see how much engine oil this holds then. I reckon it'll be about 10 litres. So we'll see. I've got a new drum here. We'll see how much it uses. But you can see I'm bang on the mark there. So what I'll do is I'll start the machine and run it, and pop back up here and check the oil level afterwards. You kind of get to know machines. You kind of, with the Perkins engines, I sort of fill it about 5 mil higher than the top line, and I find that by the time the engine oil's circulated and filled the new filter, the engine oil's spot on normally. Yeah, the only thing I would change is I'd make the diameter of that hole there about 5 mil wider, and my funnel will sit nicer in it because it just wants to fall over when you're filling. I've done well not to make a mess. I'll remember that for next time, or maybe next time I'll try and take that filling neck out and just put it straight into the rocker cover. But it's just things that you kind of, when you're doing something for the first time, you kind of looking at ways to improve efficiency, like the rate at which the engine oil came out. I'd probably drop the engine oil first and then go and drop the final drive oils, so that the engine oil's running out for a bit longer, because I like to sort of halfway through the service, I like to pull the engine oil drum out from underneath the engine and then use it to get rid of me waste diesel that I've collected out the filters. So yeah, you want to be kind of efficient, and yeah, I always do things in a certain order. I always get sort of out of sync with everything. If I change a filter in an unusual order, it kind of makes everything seem a little bit uncoordinated. So I'll go and put some oil in the final drives now. Right, so the engine oil's done, filter's done, final drive's done, slew gearbox done. I think I should be able to pop up here now and see if it will start. So I'm just going to go through all of these now and reset the filters that I've changed. It's as easy as that. And while I'm doing that with the ignition on, there is a little electric lift pump drawing diesel through those filters, so hopefully that'll flush any more air out the system, and with a bit of luck I should just be able to start it. So just bear with us, I'll knock all these service lights off. I'll quickly show you how to get into the menu to knock the filters off and reset them. So just go to home, go to maintenance, expendables management, and you can see there how it's counting the hours up since it was last serviced. So obviously the air cleaner it'll want done in another 1500 hours, and yeah, you just go through and tap on it, reset, and that's all you do. So it's not a hidden menu, it's not in a service menu where there's a sequence of buttons you need to press. It's very straightforward. Right, let's see if it'll start. I'll drop the keys. It's fired up and it's running. Cool. Right, I'll go and have a look in the pump bay where I've changed those filters and just make sure nothing's leaking. Right, good. I'll switch it off now and double check my engine oil level. Spot on, can you see that? So, happy days. There's one or two bits that I'll have a look at now. I'll run it up and check the pressures. So I've had the machine running now for about 15 minutes. I've just been working the machine, making sure everything's nice and smooth and all operations are good, checked all the lights, etc. So yeah, I'm just checking the pressures now. The machine's sort of up to working temperature. These are the key ones here, your front and rear pump pressures. So when I pull I can either, to engage the front and rear pumps, I either draw the dipper arm all the way in or the lift all the way up. I normally draw the dipper arm in just in case I'm tight for height. And I'm looking for about 330 bar on both pumps, so yeah, spot on. So you can see there, I'm just holding the dipper arm in over relief, and that raises the pressures, and yeah, everything is as it should be. So there we go, first 500 hour service on a DX140-7 is complete. Pack up now, and on my way back down the road, about halfway down the road, there's a DX27 to go and see. So go and see what we make of that, shall we? Alright. Oh, I've made it to my 27, and yeah, I've got to look at this one for a controllability fault and a couple other bits and pieces. Yeah, it's got a post knocker on it at the moment, so I can't really sort of work the machine as a digger for controllability with a great post knocker on it. So I'm going to pull it off and see if I can find a bucket for it and dig a bit of fresh air and see how it feels. And once I've done that, the oil will be up to temperature. I'll check the hydraulic pressures after that. So I've caught up with the customer, and he's been able to kind of show me what the fault is with it. So yeah, it seems like it might be a low pilot pressure fault. So what I'm going to do is test the hydraulic pressures and go from there, make sure everything's as it should be before I start ripping valves apart, looking for something sticky. But yeah, the way I describe it is the arm, as you try and pull a level grade in, it kind of wants to do that. There's a lot more, when you lift the arm up, you're kind of getting halfway through the travel before it does anything. Whereas on the dipper, it's almost instant when you're pulling the boom in. Yeah, a bit of a head scratcher at the moment, but I think if I test all the pressures, make sure we're somewhere near where we should be with that, at least we know we're kind of starting from the right point. So I've just been reading up what to do. I'm looking for 32 bar pressure, give or take 3 bars. So 35 and 29 bar pressure. I'm plugged onto my pressure gauge here, and at the moment obviously I'm reading 0.2 bar or minus 2 bar. So start the machine up. Pilot pressure is acceptable. I'll check my pump pressures now. That's behind that cover there, but I think I can do it without taking that cover off. Yeah, reach my arm past that boiling hot exhaust. I should be able to read my pump pressures. So I've tested both pumps. The one that I'm on now is for the dipper arm in, and the one that I tested first was for the bucket crowd and boom up. The dipper arm in is 238 and the pressure should be 240, so that's okay. The arm in, the boom up, sorry, is 260, so it's about 20 bar too high. So I'm just gonna knock that back a bit and see how it behaves then. Right, that's now set at about 240, so I'll give it a go. So next what I'm going to do is check the cylinder cycle times of the arm up and arm down, boom in and boom out. So yeah, we'll go and get a look at that. So cycle times are a little bit quick. So what I'm going to do now is just make a slight adjustment to the pump flow, just to kind of slow things down a little bit. Because my pilot pressure is spot on, pump pressures are spot on, but obviously it's the timing of everything coming together that isn't just quite right. So I'm just going to turn it back a bit and see if I can bring me cycle times back down a bit, because the dipper arm in was savage quick. I think it should do it in about 3.6 seconds and it did it in just over 2, so it is a little quick. So that seems an awful lot better now. Obviously I'm not going to know really until I get a bucket on it, but I've had a ratchet around, there's no buckets. The guy's had to take off again because he's on with pouring concrete at the moment, so I'll give him a phone. If he's handy and in the area and he'll be here in the next 10 minutes, then I'll stick around for him to have a go with it. But other than that, he's just going to have a go with it and see how he comes on. Yeah, I've done my best. I've backed it off a bit and everything does seem a little smoother. When you're moving this joystick now, just a fraction, it is lifting the arm proportionally to how much you move that, and everything does seem to be a little bit better with the timings. So yeah, we're just gonna have to see. There was someone in the videos asking what I use for reading the pressures. It's this digital pressure gauge. It's a Hydrotechnic. I think they're quite expensive. I got it when I started the job. Obviously it's belongs to Gordon's, not me, but you get a couple of pressure sensors that you just plug straight in. So this one here is fit for 600 bar, and I think the other one is fit for 400 bar, yeah. So generally, just to be on the safe side, I just always use the 600 bar one. And it gives you a pretty good reading. Then I just use BSP adapter, barrel nut, and you know, whatever you try to tee into. You have got these. You could screw it into these test ports here. Some machines already have the test ports in, so you just screw it straight on, like on the shovels. So yeah, it's really handy, and it's quick and it's efficient, and you know, really accurate as well. So yeah, that's what I use. Oh, it is warm out there today. It's about 22.5 degrees, just a little bit warmer than I would like normally, but anyway, I'm not complaining. It could always be worse. That's that digger finished with. I've got a couple of bits that I need to order for it anyway, so I'll be back up at it in, well, see how the week pans out, maybe this week or maybe starting next week. We'll see how it goes. But he's going to put a bucket on it and have a try, because, you know, it's all very well digging fresh air, and it's even harder when you're digging fresh air without a bucket on. So I think if he gives it a bit of work and has a feel of it, he'll know better than I will whether or not he's happy enough with it. So we'll go from there after that. So yeah, it is 5 o'clock now, and I've got an hour and a half back down to Carlisle. It'll be a nice drive, but no, I've enjoyed my first day back anyway. It's not been too bad. It's not been too bad. Tomorrow morning I'm going to head out west to a dumper. That sounds like a straightforward job, hopefully. So yeah, look out for that. But no, thanks very much for being patient with us while I've been away on holiday. I think in future I will try and gather a bit up and put a couple of videos to kind of fill the gap while I'm away, because yeah, it's hurt my ratings on the old YouTube app, it has. Not posting for a week, goodness me. I did while I was away, I did try and sort of stay off social media. There was 1 or 2 bits on Instagram that I put up, but yeah, I did try and like have a detox from it all, you know. Just switch off and spend a bit of time with the family, a bit of quality time. So there we go. Right, thanks for making it this far. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. And for more bits and pieces during the week, have a look at my Instagram, Ali's Digger Diary. And if you've enjoyed this video, give it a like, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Hopefully the weather's as nice. See ya.